baby grapes, and of course, strawberries hanging over there by yourself. Today, we're going to look at the BNB chart, and I want to share with you some interesting information. And we're also going to check out some yield talk and also a bit of the internet tech bubble. Today, I want you to see something that's going on with the BNB chart. All over Twitter, there is a constant barrage of people who are attacking BNB. They keep posting the BNB USD chart. So I'm going to share it with you right now. I'm going to show you exactly what they're posting. They type in BNB USD and then they post it and they say, oh, you're going down, you're going down, you're going down. And they zoom in on these candles. This is what they do. And they tell you, Binance is going to collapse. But that's not the real chart. Let me explain. So with all this FUD going on, now Binance can go to zero. Anything can go to zero. I'm not saying they can't. I'm just sharing with you how to determine information for yourself. So the chart I have here is BNB ETH. So this is a very different chart, right? I mean, it's actually going up to the right. But of course, you know, it can go down to zero because it's a log chart. Don't use any of these log chart trickery. Log charts are only useful if you got in on day one. If you didn't get in on day one, then your log chart is like where you got in here, which is like barely moving at all. That's the important part to consider when you're looking at this. So this is BNB versus Ethereum. Because everything is linked by liquidity, you want to see how close are these things moving together. That's what you want to see. So if you put on like a daily chart, you can see, hey, is the asset I'm looking at overperforming or is it underperforming? So there was the Binance fight that took it all the way down. Yes, of course there is. But recently, Binance was just going sideways. You were not seeing all these big fat collapses that you're seeing on Twitter and everybody saying, it's going to the floor, it's going to the floor. I'd like you to know that the source of where this Binance FUD comes from is Bitcoin Maxis. Bitcoin Maxis, I don't specifically know why, but they want to take down Binance. And they really want it to be destroyed. And if I search through my memory bank, I recall many Bitcoin Maxis saying that the reason why Bitcoin doesn't pump, it's because of Binance. And you might think they're like capping it. No. It's because Binance is the biggest altcoin casino. So, by the way, I'm not making this up. I'm remembering as I'm speaking to you, Bitcoin Maxis, they believe that Binance, the poop coin casino, they call it, the caca, where all the caca happens, they believe that if we just got rid of Binance, everybody would come buy their precious Bitcoin and it would go to a $400,000 Bitcoin for all of us. That is not happening at all. We know the world is not full of people who want to buy a digital rock and sit and look at it and do nothing. We know what people really want. They want Ponzi's. They want NFTs. They want JPEGs. They want gaming, metaverse. They want DeFi. They want fake, mid-curve, real DeFi, all the yield, up, down, left, right, leverage trading, all the great stuff that is provided in the cryptocurrency world. We don't just want Pet Rock to buy Roger Ver's 30,000x bag. We're not that stupid anymore. So they're not getting the point. They know this. But when you tell them this gently, you say, hey, friend, how are you? Please sit over there. You are a yummy strawberry and listen to what I have to say. When I tell them this, they do not compute. They say, you're a poop coiner. You're a sinner. You are a sinner. Go confess your sins. And I'll say, you know what? It's not a sin if I like it. Yeah, I like the poop coins. No shame in that. They actually go up. You ever heard of that direction up? You haven't. Why? Because you've been bag holding Bitcoin for 5 years and you haven't gotten anywhere. That's why. Well, you've gotten somewhere. You just saw Doge do 220x in a period of 120 days. And you're sitting on, what are we sitting on for Bitcoin? Wow, 226%. Congratulations. By the way, friends, I went all in down here. So, of course, I love Bitcoin. But you got to get real, man. We got to get real. We understand where the future's going. We don't have to listen to these guys. These guys and girls, half of them are just like maniacs. They're actually long from 10 to 15,000 Bitcoin. But the other half, they're actually a bit like kind of nefarious. They're in before 3,000, before $1,000. They're in a couple of $100. That's where they're in. So every 2x they get is amazing. Why? Their portfolio is 8 million already. And they're just full on Bitcoin Maxi. They never had to buy anything else. So a 2x for them, they make 8 million. But a 2x for you, you're going to turn your 8,000 into 16,000. Congratulations. You have to take higher parts of the risk curve. Bitcoin Maxis are people who were once bitten, 3 times shy. So when you look at this Binance FUD, of course, anything can happen, but I'm just here to share with you what you want to do is look at the Bitcoin ratios or the ETH ratios. If you want to be super hard mode, you look at the ETH ratio. So you can even type in BNB BTC. It's the same chart, right? Because ETH BTC is not moving anywhere. The ETH BTC is not going anywhere, much direction. So they're going to have basically the same chart. But this gives you an idea of what's going on. This is BNB BTC. This shares with you the real chart. Like BNB just crushed it over time. But remember, these are fake log charts. You want to look in what's happened over time. And you can really get an understanding of what's going on from top to bottom. And this is, friends, I'm not joking. This is really, really, really strong. That's why it's not cheap enough for me to buy. BNB from the top is only down 57% against Bitcoin. The average altcoin is down 90%. So if you go up here, you drop all the way 90. Oh my gosh, bang. That's how far low it would go. So BNB would have to literally drop another 75% for it to go. So if you looked at any other altcoin in your portfolio, multiply it by 4, that's how much you would have in BNB. So if your portfolio, let's say you're getting crushed right now, you had 100,000, now you're down to like 5,000. Well, if you were in BNB, you'd have 20,000. But of course, who was to know that? No one was to know that Binance was going to keep rotating the profits. It is what it is. You can't look at these and be too hard on yourself. You can only evaluate the information you have in front of you and hope that in the next 1,000 decisions we make, that on average, we are gaining a competitive edge and we are remaining friends. Don't forget, this Binance chart is God tier. Doesn't matter how they spell it. I don't care if it goes to 0 from here. God tier to do this. It's amazing. Everybody's actually jealous of this chart. But Binance have the biggest business in crypto. They got the poop coin casino. Everybody's there. They're making money. They're making a spread every single time people trade. So that's something to think about. There's no fake chicory here. Of course, the Department of Jelly Beans, the DOJ, the corrupt government, they can take anybody down if they want. It's such a sad state of a world. I really do feel like the walls are closing in sometime. I hope there's a way we can fight back, friends. So at the end of the day, I just want you to know that in crypto, yes, we're mentally unstable. Yes, we put water pistols to our head. Yes, we have nothing going for us except our friendship. But as bad as it seems, the traditional finance system is actually worse than us. I know you're like, what the hell? How's that possible? Yeah, it's possible. I'm here to tell you to your face it's possible, friends. All right. The US financial system, the fiat system, the Ponzi itself is really weak. Why? Why is it weak? So when I see these charts, how can I just sit here and confidently tell you it's weak? I'll tell you why. All right. It's because over the past 15 years, you see this 15-year trajectory? Over the past 15 years, they did not let enough people wash out. So you can have a look at the S&P 500, for example, and put on a monthly chart. Every time it came for a rinsing, they did not let it wash out. They printed money every time. They printed money, they stalled rates, printed money, stimulus every single time. Every time. And then the banking system was going to collapse again in the US of A. What do they do? Okay, let's print money, plug the hole. Every time. So on the surface, you think that's cool. They're just printing the hole. You know, you got trillions of dollars out here. What's a few billion amongst friends? All right, we can live with that. Here's the issue. The issue is every politician is thinking of only 4 years, pretty much. They're thinking of the next couple of years. They're thinking about their legacy. They don't care about year 12, right? They don't care about what happens in like 10 to 20 years from now. So what ends up occurring is all the actual zombie companies, right? All the actual zombie companies stay around. So the ones who were meant to actually die off, they don't die off. They're sitting there roaming the streets, eating flesh. You're going to kill him with a crossbow, straight to the forehead. Make sure you don't get bitten, friends. When this happens, it creates a weakened state of the economy in the event of a crisis. That's what happens. So these zombies, they're a chain on the neck of the economy now, but they're not going to be revealed until the system starts cracking. So maybe the system is meant to only take the S&P 500 down like 10%, but because there's so many zombies, it goes down like 25%. And instead of recovering over like 3 months, maybe because of all the zombies, it takes like 9 months. Now, if you just like compound all of this together, you can see why it's a very big problem. And that's why in crypto, a lot of people out there with nasty, toxic hearts, they'll say, you're down 99%. What's going on? It's because they don't understand. They are measuring our altcoins by US dollars, even though there might be a Bitcoin Maxi or Ethereum Maxi. We are measuring it by the quantity of people, PPL, and the quantity of coins. And I'm going to just draw a little poopy emoji here just to so we're fully aware, friends. And the poopy's going to be smiling, okay? That's what it is. Metcalfe's law. We are measuring our quantity. Just like how people say, 1 Bitcoin is 1 Bitcoin. Yeah, well, you can say it. 1 link is 1 link. 1 Doge is 1 Doge. 1 hex is 1 hex. 1 pulse is 1 pulse. You can say that to all these coins. You are in a part of a network. And because the US dollar price of the Poopy McPoop coins has gone down, does not mean that there aren't any people there. There are still people there. So to them, we give a big fat middle finger. And don't worry, we have receipts. And the piper will come for them. Don't worry. When there's green candles again, they're going to feel it. And you know how we know? I'm going to get blocked. Every single week, little soy boy cuck with a pencil neck and flaily arms blocks me. Every single one. I don't block anybody. No one. The only people I block is when they block me. So I remember that they've done something to me in the future. That's it. If I find out somebody's blocked me, I'll just make a mental check of that. The US economy is blocking itself. The US 10-year yield around 4.1%. It's going to happen, I'm telling you now. They can't just keep raising rates forever, man. Like, friends, you think me and you need to retire or whatever, right? You think you're sitting there, oh, I just want to retire early. I never want to do this again. All right, let me tell you something. The US government doesn't care about retirement. The US government has 200 million people sucking on the teat of welfare and social programs and tax things. And not just that, there are a lot of hardworking citizens, but what they don't know is that the companies that employ them are sucking on the teat as well. So everybody is sucking on the teat of the government in one way or another. It's just that the government sucks on the biggest teat of all, and then they get all the benefits. Everybody else has to suffer and get whipped by the rich man. What ends up happening is it's eventually going to crack. The dam is going to crack. The water's going to come, and everybody's going to reveal to the government that, hey, we knew you were corrupt all along. They're scared of some sort of revolution. So what happens? What happens is the government has to go to Jay Powell, the US Fed, tap him on the shoulder and say, you know what? I think your inflation target of that 2%, I think we gotta let it slide, brother. I think we gotta let's see how 2.5% goes. You know, let's see how 3% goes. Let's leave it as a band, as a period of time. That's what ends up happening. And when that happens, we have the bonds going down in yield, which means their price goes up. There's a bid for the bonds. It's funny. Who's bidding fiat? It's because they're company policy, friends. So we need that yield to go from 4.1% to 3.5%. That will unblock all the tough times going, and it will unlock good times for us. So this is going to coincide with crypto going up because the yields of fiat will go down. It's just a matter of time. The market's going to crack eventually. The US government, their debt is too big to sustain. It has trillions and trillions. And you can even go to the very famous usdebtclock.org. It's one of the most famous websites. It's been going on for such a long time. If you just look up here, you can see how big the disastrous scenario is. US national debt is now 32 trillion. I remember when this was like 23. I remember when it was like 25, 27. Now we're in the 32s. Like, it's just going up and up and up. The interest repayments are getting too big. So this is where we're coming from when we see these numbers just going to keep going up. It's just a matter of time, friends. It's just a matter of time before something cracks. They're going to have to turn on the money printer again, and the market's going to sniff it out. Just like me and you have sniffed out our friendship. Don't forget, like, subscribe, bell button, all. Tell mom and dad we love and appreciate them. We're going to keep shocking the algorithm. I'm going to catch you in the next one.